Osia, what's up, beautiful souls? Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Mamina. You can call me Mina for short, or Divine Starseed. The overall theme for this message, we're tapping into your magic, your mystic abilities. You may resonate with identifying as a lot of things here: shaman, shamaness, high priestess, high priest, witchery type energy. The main focus is your spiritual gifts and what messages are coming through them right now. Might start tapping into certain sensations, and this could be a confirmation for you, or it can be making you aware to what some of those physical sensations you've been feeling are a part of. For example, you know how some people say, oh, I got this feeling in my gut before said and said events take place. Well, guess what, my love? Is not always in the gut. Sometimes other parts of the body have symptoms when certain gifts are channeling in. Palms getting hot, the bottom of the feet aching a certain way, and so on and so forth. Numbers of importance: 111, 3333. A lot of 369, so 6 and the 9. I'm feeling the need to also pull these cards in sets of threes. So if a number 1 to 3 resonates with you more, so be it. But I'm going to pull all the cards straight out because I feel like each one is going to tie into another one and tie into another one. I'm not being moved to really do this as a pick a card. But since it is a collective reading, like with any, take what resonates to and for you, leave what doesn't. Your guides brought you here to this message for a reason. It's up to you to tap in and allow yourself to see what that reason is and what you're going to do with the guidance that is given here. You're always responsible for your actions and reactions. Bear with me. I'm going to try and slow down my talking. However, I am going to try and get through this reading a little quicker since I do have some rest to get. The full moon did your girl in, and then I'm doing this as the Jupiter energy is transitioning into the next day. So it is literally in the AM here, going into the 27th. So that Jupiter energy is lingering, and that Libra full moon energy is also lingering. Let's hop right on in to your gifts. Again, I'm pulling all decks in the set of threes. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. Gonna move on to the Witchy Academy Tarot. One more shuffle. And then 1, 2, 3. Okay. And we're also going to be using the Dungeons and Dragons Tarot. So again, take what resonates. This message is for you masculine, feminine energies. It's unisex reading. However, this deck has a more feminine vibe to it. The other one, I feel the other one's unisex, but it can come off also very masculine because the colors are warmer. 1, 2, 3. Lastly, we're going to use the Witchy Way. It's a very universal deck. It's by me, Sis Fire Witch Tarot. You don't have to identify with the witchy energy to identify with the guidance that it gives. It is very blunt, okay? So, viewer discretion, as always, is advised because it is a blunt deck here, okay? And from here, 3, 1, 2, 3. All right. Let's hop right on into it. Spiritual gift number 1. We have Indigo Child. Some of you probably resonate with this heavily. You probably also, of course, resonate with Starseed energy because the glitter on her cheeks are standing out to me. And they look like little stars, like it's forming a star on her cheek from the way that it's moving to me. Images can move for me. We have: it is your mission to access higher wisdom, knowledge, and intelligence so you can bring it back down to earth. I'm going to tell you guys a sensation that if it's not coming in strong already, it may start to, but I do feel like someone is getting this. I'm just going to point out to you what it is. So you take these 2 fingers and you want to put them right between your brows, where your third eye is, right between the brows. Those 2 fingers, you're going to bring them down your face like this. So they're going to come down the side of your cheek and connect under your nose. Some of you who practice Kundalini might be used to this, but that triangular shape right there is connected to the third eye. And the third eye forms that triangle and then goes up into the crown. Okay, so a lot of times when those of you who resonate with this indigo child energy, when you're about to get a download of something, like, you know, that expression when they say you don't know how you know, but you know, you have sensations in the face. You might get a tingling right there between the brows. You could find that your nose itches right along the side, maybe even on both sides, and there's a warmth that spreads throughout your cheeks. Now, some of you may have some of these symptoms more than others. For those of you where the warmth spread out, it doesn't matter how melanated your skin is. There's like a reddish hue that comes into your skin, or a slightly blush, like, complexion that matches your tone, because everybody has different undertones, that comes into your skin and your cheeks, and your cheeks might feel really hot. Like if you were to just take the palms of your fingers and put them against your cheeks, they would feel really warm. You know, it might be cool and then just instantly get warm without you having to press and hold your hand there, because that's the energy letting you know something's channeling from your crown and third eye, and it's resonating. It's creating resonance in your face. Some of you, that remember I said earlier, the hands, the electric feeling in the hands, or like fire in the hands, particularly feeling it a lot in the palm area of the hand. And for others, it's a sensation under the feet. Sometimes you might, right in the middle of your feet, that curve, you might sometimes get this like shock feeling. It's not painful. I don't want you to confuse it with that. It's not painful, but it does feel like something just sort of shocked your foot a little bit. These are all symptoms. Each one of these gifts are going to resonate with these symptoms differently, but they're all channeling in just with this indigo here alone. And because the indigo is speaking to higher wisdom and knowledge, I feel like it does happen a lot before a vision or some type of information comes towards you, and then it's like bam, you're led right to what you need to see to take that message, articulate it further or research it further. Let's get into your next card. We have storyteller. That's yes. Yes, this is perfect. Storyteller. You have the ability to express life through stories and enhance your magic with symbols. Spirit may also communicate with you through synchronicities. What did I just say? What did I just say? And there's a physical sensation you receive when that happens. Those of you who get that sensation in your feet, grounding yourself. I know not everyone lives where they can immediately get to a park or some type of greenery, but walk around barefoot. If you can get some type of plants in your house, some type of plant in your house that you can monitor, and I've suggested this before, plants can help you monitor your own energy, because they're going to respond to you in your space. And it can also help you indicate when your space needs a cleaning or a cleansing, especially if you're someone that can get really busy and fall off track with that. But having something of nature near you, really important. Get your spinach, get your kale, know your body, know what green, foods you can take in and can't take in, because for some people, certain things add more water to the body and etc. But this is also a part of recognizing these gifts. They have an effect on the body, and they will also give you symbols and signals of what part of your body needs work, like what part of you needs exercise or care, based on how you ache. I tell you guys all the time, if you want to know sometimes what chakras are off, where are you aching? Okay, and remember, there are levels above the 7 and below the standard 7. So when you feel different pains in other parts of the body, it's not going to always just be connected like, oh, my knees hurt, that must be the root. It can be, but it can also be that there's some stability lacking in the degrees that are under the root chakra. And so you need to get more grounded through that area. I'll have a lot of other readings that'll break that stuff down, or channeled messages that'll break that down. But for right now, just know that your body's going to always give you a sign of what needs help where, or what needs more exercise where. Doesn't matter what shape you are, doesn't matter what you look like or what else is going on. It's just the energy's way of showing you it's time to get the facility, which is the body, to be prepared to facilitate the energy that's magnifying. So if you've been feeling the need to change how you eat, if you've been feeling the need, and this could also be for someone who's used to not eating a lot, like being thin and kind of always being hungry. Your body doesn't like the hunger. There's a way to, be healthier with what you need to do while still facilitating space for that energy. Okay. That's going to be really important this winter anyway. So just be mindful of that, because winter can make it easy, especially if you live in cold places, to want to like stay inside. You don't really want to go out. It's important to have things around you that brings in the nature, that brings in the balance, eating a balanced diet, and etc. This is all going to help you. For those of you who say, I'm not really good at expressing myself, I struggle with stuttering or this, that, and the third. A lot of times that may be what you think, and perhaps you might even do that. But when you start to talk, when you start to express to people something that they feel is, wow, that's knowledge I didn't know, that's something I didn't know about, or that's really wise how you articulated that. Your way of bringing things together and expressing it is unique to you. And while, yes, you can practice, and I feel like somebody here might have struggled with a speech impairment, something a little heavier than just stuttering, maybe like a sis. I keep feeling like my voice wants to do it, like a sissing sound, or a very particular kind of stutter. Not all stuttering is exactly the same. There's ramble stutter, where it's like you kind of skip words, and then there's like the tongue. It's a weird feeling in the center of my tongue. You might have went to some type of class for this, like when you were younger. If you struggled with it, you had some type of class. Maybe when you get mad, you stutter again. I do pick up this kind of energy in my collective a lot, so I know there are those in my collective that watch with this impairment, or they've had it in the past. And it's like whenever you get too anxious or a bit nervous, that happens. But have confidence in yourself here. Not just because you did the work to repair and you can always improve on it, but because when you talk to people and you're really into what you talk about, the way that you express it is perfect for people. It's perfect for whom you're speaking to. So as long as you're confident with it and you can keep expanding upon it, like your diction will expand, so on and so forth. Don't get in your head about what you think you can't do. Instead, bear in mind that this is the divine letting you know what you can, what you are capable of, and what you're already doing. You're already the indigo child. You're already the storyteller. You don't need anyone to try and tell you otherwise, honestly. You may resonate with these things being called something else in another culture or language, but you heard what the description was, and that's the most important part of it. Okay, let's move on along. We have self-reliance. You're an independent, free spirit who is here to learn and teach love and freedom, enabling others to experience and master self-love and independence. And if you look closely, I don't know if my camera will show it, there's hair coming down the line of her nose, right? Remember I said something about like the itch along the line of the nose, feeling a lot of facial resonant energy as far as like how the magic flows through your body. It's giving you physical representations here. And again, somebody who might be self-conscious about something else, put in a lot of work to gain the level of independence they have thus far. So don't let yourself focus on what you think you can't do. Look at what you've already achieved. Look at where you can go. It's not telling you to not acknowledge when you feel there's a weakness. It's telling you not to be codependent on that weakness. It's telling you not to believe that you're limited to a particular thing, that you can improve or grow out of it at your own pace. Be kind to yourself during this time, because a lot of energy is coming in, and there's this need to be free. There's this need to just be you and express from a very authentic place. I cannot preach authentic enough to y'all. All month, that's all I've been hearing. Authentic. And I'm gonna tell you right now, there's a lot of channel messages that I still have to get into for you guys, and they all center around authenticity. Okay, so just know. Let's hop into the first tarot. Look at that, the Devil card. Freedom. Freedom is time to be free without the fear of judgment. Okay, if there's something that you've found yourself kind of stuck in, second guessing yourself about, you have the wisdom and the inner knowledge to free yourself from that. You also have the right to express yourself in a very authentic way. You don't have to be chained to one ideal of existence here, or one way of being. The devil card isn't really coming out so much as being held prisoner. It's coming out more so with being unbridled with who you are, being bold. That's the energy it's carrying and channeling right now. We have, wow, the Lover's card. Look at that. And look at the gray wolf in the corner. Wolves have a lot of sacred meaning. They represent loyalty. They mate for life. So this is involving choices and how you express those choices and the connections that come along with it. In my readings, the Lover's card, it rarely comes out just choices. Sometimes it will, but it rarely comes out that way. And the reason is because when you start realizing the power of expressing yourself and the power of mindfulness with your choice, you can't help but to draw people near you without you having to try. And those people, as they come in, the ones who are meant to be genuine, they'll show their true face. Just like the ones who are ingenuous will show their true face. And it's up to you to look beyond the mask, to go beyond that. It's a choice to. I feel like this wants to be over here with self-resilientness, even though it's the Lover's card and it is indicating connections, platonic and otherwise. I feel like it wants to be there. So let's see what the other one is. We have, oh, that's just too perfect, the Page of Wands. If it's anybody that's going to get excited about telling a story, or anyone that's going to get excited by a story, it's the Page of Wands. The Page of Wands is going to be like, let's find the treasure map. Let's mix the ingredients. What are we doing? Let's do it now. I'm ready to go. Let's go. Look, he's already sitting by the fire and he is fascinated by the fire on the stick. I feel like this is a part of your ability to enhance an experience. The Page of Wands can enhance an experience by how thoroughly they can enjoy and be inspired by something and their optimism. Okay. And with the self-reliance and how you connect to others, you enable others to express themselves and master self-love, which draws in authentic connections. So you see how it's all aligning. It's all making sense. It's all aligning. Okay. Let's get into the next card. Look. Baby, let me tell you, the adventures that have as of yet to be explored, okay? The treasures that you can find. The sea is open. It is uncharted. Do not be afraid of the unknown. Don't be afraid to tap into the wilder sides of yourself. Like I said, this energy isn't coming in as temptations and bounds, though it is telling you to be mindful of the influences around you and how you may influence others. It is telling you to be aware of that. But when the luck and the joy starts rolling in and it has you setting sail in new spaces, and realize every space that you enter, to an extent, you have think of it like you have your own veil around you, and that veil around you is your personal space, right? And when you enter a certain environment or room, you have a lot of influence in that space because that bubble around you has a lot of resonance. Just like you can feel it in your body, people around you will feel it. Sometimes that's how individuals are attracted to another. They can feel their resonance. This is a reminder to be cautious of it. Another reason that Devil card is out there, because you don't want for somebody to pick up how powerful you are and then try to enter your personal space with bad intention, or try to trick you into using your gifts to their benefit, and you don't get any proper exchange of energy for that. And the proper exchange isn't always going to be equal, but it will be fair. Meaning sometimes someone might need a little bit more, sometimes someone else might need a little less. But there's a lot of uncharted territory that's about to be found. The fact that this energy is here right when you have the Page of Wands, who again loves a journey, loves a good story, is really optimistic. Okay, ooh, ciao. Let's move on along. We have the Seven of Wands, defending. I don't really feel like it's so much about defending a particular position. I feel like it's about standing strong in your ability. In the storyteller energy, it's about really standing strong and knowing that you can draw a crowd and everyone's going to want a piece of what you're able to. Again, like everyone's going to want like a little bit of a piece of you, but not everyone's going to be worthy of that piece. So just be really mindful of how you share yourself. That's really important to pay attention to. Lastly, and then we'll hop into the big cards, we have the 4. Listen, the dragon protects their treasure. It's not always about a possessiveness. Sometimes it's about, I'm protecting what I deem sacred. I'm not just allowing any old body to come up in here and run around and do what they want. Remember, some people that appear before you will have on mask, and because you're really good at helping individuals express the true them, those who wear a false one, they'll reveal their negative energy right away. Those who are positive, those who are heaven sent, they're going to come in, but spirit's not going to always let you peep who they are right away. It's not until you interacted with them, you've had the experience of them, that you'll figure that out. In the meantime and in between time, don't worry about being possessive of this energy, and don't become someone else's possession. Having a sense of belonging, when we say, oh, these two belong together, it's not always about someone has possession. It's a very negative perspective. It's more so about they both give each other a sense of belonging in their world. The worlds merge. So be this friendships, be this lovers. There are people coming in who will perfectly merge with you. But be mindful of your abilities. Be mindful of your gifts and how you share yourself. You have a right to say, hey, if something drains me a little too much, I have to pull back a bit. But if something is actually contributing to me, I have all the means to invest more into it. 4 is about balance as well. Okay, stability, having a stable foundation, the 4 pillars holding up the stage, if you will. Okay. Lastly, we're going to get into fire witches the witchy way. The first thing we have is twisted changes. Get ready for the crazy changes that are about to occur in your life. Unexpected twists and turns, unsettled emotions, broken routines, major shifts in everyday life, a necessary reset for your highest good. You may resonate with all of that. You may resonate with one over the other. And you see the tornado in the background. It is very much giving Dorothy. Dorothy and her Lilith energy, if you would. Accept the twists and turns, though. Just don't, be mindful of your influences. Be mindful of how others are trying to influence you. But definitely allow yourself to accept that these changes are actually here to empower you. They're actually here to help you become wiser and to display that wisdom, because that wisdom will help others. Some of you might actually be writers. Genuine, like you have stories you want to write that can have a big impact, or you're really good at speaking. You might want to open some type of facility, do something that involves you bringing in a crowd and communicating with them. And even if it's not a large crowd, it's still reaching people in a nice quantity. We have beautiful sad witch. Your strength comes from within, fighting through the pain and using it as fuel to motivate your uprising. It may not feel pretty, but that doesn't mean you can't look cute. Vulnerability can be beautiful. Okay. And like I said, when we have this energy come out, a lot of people are going to want a piece of you because they're so attracted to your energy and how you tell stories and how you express yourself, blah, 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 right? But you get to decide who participates in that energy. And if there's something, remember we talked about those insecurities earlier. If there's something you're insecure about, just understand that there's power in realizing how far you've come. You're not the person you were a few months ago, a few years ago. And every day is a chance to become that new person. See the beauty in your vulnerability. And I said this from the very beginning, be kind to yourself. You can be real, but be kind to yourself. Don't do things that push yourself down. There's a quote that I shared in my Insta story, and I've said it in my own way a lot, which is the things you tell yourself, the stories, the conversations you have in your mind become your everyday life, become your reality. Are you telling yourself that you're just a sad, oh, I'm a beautiful sad witch? Or are you telling yourself, I'm a really strong person who can be vulnerable, because in vulnerability is strength? A lot of times people go around, they'll say things like, don't tell me I'm strong. Right? What that really means is, don't expect me to have to be strong all the time. Vulnerability is strength. Too long, for too many centuries now, people have called vulnerability weakness, but our ancestors knew better. Vulnerability was strength, which is why many trials and many mystic tests involve seeing how vulnerable you could be. They always tell you about the strength building tests. They never tell you how it taps a lot into their vulnerability, what makes them feel too exposed, too out in the open. And when they can master that, the amplification it gives, you understand? Like anything you've been through in life, any type of trauma, purge it. It's not meant to stay in your system. That's why it creates health issues and disease. Purge it. And as you purge it, give yourself the proper praise for how far you've come. Don't get on yourself about being dumb here and no, you've learned the lesson. That's the key. Learn it and then progress forward. Keep expanding. You may trip up and make other mistakes in the future. And just like you learned from the past ones, you can learn from those. Do not beat yourself up. Don't make yourself bitter. That needed to channel that way for somebody. And then we have meant for you. Honey, was meant for you will be for you and only you. No one can take what's destined to be yours, period. And that's right where the Lover's card is in the Treasure. Somebody's coming in as your treasure, important friendships, deep love connection if you're not already married or in a connection that's very sacred to you. And even if you're in that one, it's letting you know you are secure in what you have. What's destined for you is destined for you. So be mindful of your treasure and how you share it with others. My loves, that was your message. I pray that resonated with you and it gave you some clarity on what's going on with your abilities right now and some of the events taking in life, how they contribute, where they can be of use. Peace, love, and light, beautiful souls.
Get your copy of Love Confession Cyber Edition. Link in bio.